Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
With a nasty temperament. Ice, well, his watch is working as well as ours. No, there it is. How about it?
Got your attention?
Damn!
What is the biggest ick?
People like wrestling.
You can suck my fucking dick!
It's so spicy. Guys, it's Thursday night, and that means it's Thursday night Sweet Chin Music. We got D-Runk, we got Biggie, we've got Boston Chris, and we got Papa Wheelie, and I'm Beckerman, and we're here to talk wrestling with you. And thank you to the chat of TM Nerdy, who's over there now. And yeah, guys, how's everybody doing this week?
Not too bad.
Pretty good.
Well, let's start. Let's start off on a sad note. Let's bring everybody down. Sabu passed away since our last show, and I just thought we could go around the horn and everybody talk about what Sabu meant to wrestling, any matches, if you ever saw him live, or just any notable matches you remember. D, we'll start with you.
You know, really, like, one of the only matches that stood out for me was he had a match against Benoit where he broke his neck, and that was intense. I don't remember exactly the moment. I think it was like a back body drop where he took it on the head or something similar to that. I know he had incredible height and he fell and landed on his head, which is not what you want to do. But you know, he was one of the four pillars of ECW, man. Like, he really helped build that brand, and you know, his wrestling career after that wasn't as great. Not his fault, just he belonged in an ECW, not a watered down version of ECW, and that's kind of where he landed after that. So it's too soon though, man. You keep hearing about wrestlers going, you know, at young ages. And he was 60. It's not, he wasn't a baby either, but that's still too young.
And recently retired. Like, he had just had his final match. Biggie, any thoughts?
He was one of those guys that he had the look, wasn't really good at promos. It was one of the best promos, the whole Taz thing when he returned. That was a great little, that was probably my favorite producing in ECW, was that whole stuff there. He didn't really say much, but he showed up, the lights went out, the lights came on. That was awesome. That's one of my favorite things in ECW. And I'll be honest, like, he botched a lot, man. Like, he was just kind of hoping that he didn't botch during a match, because some of the stuff he would try to do, like the jumping on the top rope and balancing off the chair, and you know, and when he landed it, it was beautiful. But about 6 out of 10 times he didn't land it, you know, so he would have to reset it up and all that stuff. But he was over with the crowd. The crowd loved him. It's very sad. If you watched that last death match, the way he got thrown out of the ring and skipped on his head and stuff, I didn't like it. The rumors about the kratom, all that stuff, you know, it's really kind of sad.
Yeah.
But
Janela basically confessed to giving them. It like didn't seem to be all that tore up about it either. Like, he was just like, yeah, we gave him kratom so he could walk.
Yeah, they kind of.
What is kratom?
It's like a cheap marijuana, but stronger. It's not good. It's very gross.
Is it legal?
It's supposedly legal, but they changed the laws on it. You got to make new kratoms, make it legal. He's a jabroni, dude. He said like 80% of retired wrestlers. That's absolutely wrong. He said that he gave it to him, then he changed it and said that his people gave it to him. So he might have meant well. He might have looked up to Sabu, but he's already proved to be a liar a couple times in this little situation. So besides all that, I'm just trying to stick on Sabu. Yes, he should be remembered as one of the innovators of hardcore, if not the innovator. That's what I gotta say.
Boston Chris?
Yeah, so I mean, I became aware of Sabu in ECW. I want to say, like, I didn't go directly into ECW right away. I kind of found it accidentally. It was just randomly on 1 in the morning, just channel surfing because I was going on vacation and just happened to see this thing, and there's just ECW. And so I want to say it was around like 96 or so. I became aware of him. And then, you know, once you get to, you know, the Bailey Legal pay-per-view, it was like, oh, like he's like, you know, like he was a must-see attraction. But seeing everything before that, like he really, like D said, he was one of the pillars. He was one of the guys that set ECW on the path, that put them on the map. I mean, he was one of the guys that, I mean, if you don't have, if Sabu didn't wrestle, like you don't have any Hardy Boys, you don't have TLC matches, you don't really, like a lot of that stuff that he innovated, a lot of the high flying stuff that he did, you know, incorporating shares in and everything else, that like you don't have that. And he also, I would say, you know, like he knew how to do his character perfectly within ECW. You know, that's where his niche was. And you know, I want to say that he came in, I would say, at a time where like they were the kind of only like place that he could have done what he wanted to do. But if he, like, let's say, had been born about, you know, 15, 20 years later, you know, the early 2000, like TNA and all that type of stuff and everything that was after ECW, he would have thrived. I mean, if he was around now, he would absolutely thrive, you know, in the business where it is, just because, like, for a guy his size, and for a guy his size and a guy that does what he does, you know, like there's so much that you can pull off. There's so many more places you can go. I only had the opportunity to see him live once. That was at the ECW One Night Stand, him versus Rey Mysterio. And
oh wow,
I was on the other side of the ring when he did that moonsault. So like he did the DDT. So from my perspective, he killed Rey Mysterio in front of everybody. Like he dropped it. The ref like freaked out and was like waving and doing the X and everything else. And I was like, oh, he just killed Rey Mysterio live on pay-per-view. That's crazy. But yeah, like he was great for the whole mystique of ECW, where it's like you have a guy that for a while his gimmick was just he would just jump through a table. There'd be nobody on it, he would just jump through it just because. And it just made his legend grow. And the fact that he was you know, such a just fun wrestler to watch. It is sad to see him go. And you know, I mean, unfortunately, you know, his style wasn't the style that would lead to a long career. And I think his career went much longer than it needed to. So rest in peace to Sabu. Sorry to see that you went, but thank you for the memories.
Pop, have you typed anything out yet? You ready to go? All right, hit it.
The main part of the Sabu legendary career is his matches with Taz from ECW.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he had a lot
sure.
of good feud.
I mean,
yeah.
If you're talking Sabu, you're talking ECW. My thought I had today about it was he was really, I mean, one, he was a legacy. He's the nephew of the original Sheik.
Yep.
But the other thing was, talk about a guy who like opened up a lot of doors for other people to make a lot of money, but he never really made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now part of that was his personality. Biggie, I want to say, said, you know, wasn't a good promo. Didn't really promo for the first majority of his career. Like later on, he broke character a little more often and would actually do promos. But for the most part of his career, his whole gimmick was just being the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, which when you take in all that moniker, you know, 60, as Dee said, not very old, but kind of a ripe old age when you live like that and you wrestle like that. And I'm not going to bring up like all the bad parts of his career, but I mean, he's a guy who bounced around a lot. Outside of ECW, he never really had a home for very long.
Yeah. I want to say a lot of his promo too, like a lot of the promo work that he would do, it just shows close-ups of the man's, but his body was scarred horribly, and that's how they say like this guy loves hurting himself. Look what he does to himself all the time for your entertainment, and like if you're out there, if you're a fan and impressionable about it, like of course this guy goes through hell for us. Like we love this guy, so there was no way he wouldn't be over, especially, and ECW was perfect for him to be that way.
I just feel bad that a guy like that, gave so much to the business, opened up so many opportunities for other people to make money. But I mean, I know he had at least one GoFundMe at one point. I think he had a couple to pay for surgeries. I just feel bad when guys like that, had ECW not had all the financial problems it had, if Paulie, could have paid his wrestlers or not been Paulie, and how he stiffed some of his wrestlers. Like it would have been nice to see Sabu reap some of the rewards, because I do believe pillar of ECW. I don't know if hardcore wrestling looks like it does today if not for him. He was great.
Yeah, without him, there's no Rob Van Dam, and I will say, like, there's no Hardy Boys without him either. Like he inspired a lot of people. So just like it really is kind of a crazy thing, and I would say, and this is kind of my own thing a little bit. When it comes to some of these matches that people are doing at the tail end of their careers, and some of them even their lives, like look how old Ric Flair was in his last match. It's like maybe some promoters start saying, you know what? We're going to scale back on these things. Like, you're way past your prime. We can have you appear at the show. You can be honored, but we're not having a last match for you. We just can't. Or if we have a last match, you're not taking any bumps. Like, you're just standing on the side. They'll tag you in. Maybe throw a couple punches, and then you're tagging out. Like, you're not having a full match. We're not going to have you die in the ring. Like that. I mean, that's not what happened to Sabu, but, I mean, I'm just starting to notice that being more of a trend where, like, a lot of people are having their final match well past their prime, into old age, and they're just it's not safe. It's too much of a liability for the promoters. I think promoters should start putting their foot down on that one. Like, no, we're not letting you have a match. Sorry. That's just my thoughts. I don't know.
Does anyone else have any thoughts on Sabu?
I think we touched enough of them. I think you guys had a pretty good thoughts on that. That's good. Unless you do, dude. You got something?
Well, up next we have we had a PLE last weekend, Backlash. D, what did you think of Backlash? An overall thought before we go through the matches?
Man, that was when you try and call the matches, you try and predict them, and you're hoping for a twist. So you might predict, this and that, but man, that couldn't have been any more exactly what Vince McMahon would have done with a pay-per-view. That was so boring. To me, it didn't have a lot of highlights. Memorable moments were kind of
there were a lot of commercials too.
Yeah.
It's a setup. Rough. Right? I mean, if you're gonna look at it, Backlash is basically what like the new season kind of WWE. It's basically like the start of their year kind of. So it makes sense that they're trying to set up everything going forward. And it seems a little lackluster to me. But I mean, like Dee said, it's kind of weird that you would have a pay-per-view or PLE built up just to kind of be basically filler to bring up to other things, because it's basically just saying, all right, and Money in the Bank's coming up next, and we have some other matches, but they're kind of formulaic, so get ready, because it's just like nothing really. It's kind of a glorified Saturday Night's Main Event, if you ask me. But like that's the way I looked at it.
I just want to say hey to Thomas O'Donnell, Bleeker, DBH, TM Nerdy. Thank you everyone for being in the chat. Also, Biggie, any thoughts on Backlash?
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting. I was just kind of waiting for the main event. I was hoping that it would have been exciting if Randy Orton win. I know everybody didn't expect it to happen, but I would have marked out, you know. Weirder things have happened, and I kind of like the LA. I thought LA Knight had some moments in the match that were kind of fun, you know, the yeahs and all that. So you know, we're gonna break down each match, but there were some spots in there I liked. Some good stuff during them. You know, I pretty much seen what was coming, and what happened was everything except for the Randy Orton thing. I was just marking out for my guy, but it wasn't as good as it's about even with Mania. You know, they cut it early for the UFC. It's obvious. A lot of commercials, and yeah, it was about even with Mania. That's my thoughts.
All right. Well, Boston Chris, you kind of already had said your overall thoughts. Pop,
Yeah.
I know you wanna break it down one match at a time. Do you have anything to say right now? No? Papa? No. All right, so D, let's start with the first match. We got a fatal four-way United States Championship match. Jacob Fatu beat LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. What'd you think of this one?
You know, it was probably the most exciting match of the night for me. But it had the exact finish that I was. Well, I guess they had the run in from another one of the bloodline that's who I had no idea who that.
Bloodline member.
Yeah.
Oh well, he helped the bloodline, so he's in it now. You know, so you know, but that's
Jeff
man,
Cobb.
like yeah, Jeff Cobb, like I didn't know who that was at all before he came out, and if anyone else does know who he was, that's cool, but like I ain't got that much time in my day, so yeah, no, they made you think that LA Knight might pull it off, and I knew the match would come down to LA Knight and Fatu. I didn't predict it live on the air here, but I figured that McIntyre and Priest would take each other out of the match, and that's what happened. And then you got the finish that happened. Fatu went over, so it was okay.
Biggie?
Yeah, I'd like to leave some meat on the bone for Chris. I'm gonna switch sides if it's all right. I'll start going after Chris. So I'd like you to go next, Chris.
All right. So in terms of you know, the match, I think it was good overall. I will say that, I mean, the outcome is what I expected as far as you know, Jacob to win, just because they you know, built him to be the monster. He's got to be the guy that just, I mean, he just got the belt. You wouldn't take it off him that quickly. That's kind of crazy. Jeff Cobb jumping out, it was kind of a surprise. I do like, I'll say this much. I don't know if he's going to actually be called Jeff Cobb, because Big E at one point had said, you know, he was once known as Jeff Cobb. So if he ends up being like Jeff Fatu or Jeff whatever, name change, bloodline name change coming in, but he's not related to them at all. But he was a big star over in Japan. You know, and a guy that they drafted, they kind of just, his contract lapsed, and they were just like, yeah, you want to come over here, and he just did. But you know, I think that it's cool. I like, I guess, story wise, how they're setting that up, so that now Solo has his own enforcer to kind of keep Jacob in line, so that, you know, if you know, start yelling at me this now, I'm gonna get Jeff. You have to deal with Jeff if you're gonna sit there and yell at me like that. So you know, I think the match was decent. I mean, I would say it was one of the brightest spots of the show. But you know, I mean, it didn't seem like it was gonna really, like, there was no chance that LA Knight was gonna win. But you know, overall it was good though. He looked good in defeat.
Yeah. So in retrospect, I enjoy it even more than when I first watched it, because that whole, like, we love you, Solo, all that stuff, out the door now, dude. So, you know, Jacob's kind of grown and sprouted his wings. He ain't Solo's little bitch, and I like it. I like it a lot. So that's what I like about it. And LA Knight did good. Thought the other two guys, you know, They did a spot outside the ring. They kind of had to lay there knocked out. Then progressed. I've seen that guy before. He's been saying he might make it to the WWE. I think there's another Samoan trying to make it too, but yeah, it was one of my favorite matches of the night.
Yeah.
And Pop, you still typing? Okay, I'll go real quick if you're not done typing yet. I was just gonna say, to me, the Jeff Cobb showing up, I don't know, just Matt to me. Like he looks imposing when he's in the indies. I've seen him on AEW. I want to say had maybe 2 or 3 matches in AEW. I don't think he's won one of them. I know he was a part of their Forbidden Door events. I know he's a Japan guy. I've seen some of his matches from other promotions, but I don't know. He didn't look too menacing in WWE. Like he's indie big. He's not like WWE. I mean, Drew McIntyre was involved in that match. Like that guy's a monster compared to some of these shorter indie guys. DVH says, I couldn't help but think that Drew was sort of slumming it in that match. Yeah, I feel like that. He's main event level, but I guess it was just a TV style match to lead to the real program. Yeah, I don't disagree. Pop, what do you got for us? Not done yet? Well, all right, Pop. I don't want to get away from you here, but up next we'll have Lyra Valkyria beat Becky Lynch. But see, you spent too much time paying attention to what DVH was writing.
You're all right, Pop.
All
you
right.
take your time, man. We'll get to you when you're ready, bro.
And I had another thought on that match, but I lost it. Like, whatever.
I was gonna say, if anybody, you ready, Pop? Do it.
Cool.
I don't even notice the commercials anymore. I think people need to get used to it. And I love the Jeff Cobb debut, and they are building for the split for Fatu and Silo and SummerSlam match.
You don't notice those commercials? Entire cities get commercials now on WWE programming.
Yeah. Like they
My
promote them for
God.
tourism and stuff now.
In the ring. The ring looks like ass.
I kind of get what he's saying, because if it wasn't just a commercial, it would be some kind of WWE like commercial. So it takes about the same amount of time. But the whole Solo and Fatu, I agree with them. Like that's where they're going.
Who that?
The
Hey,
issue
who
that
dat?
comes with the commercials, though, is that like it's a premium live event, right? This is the legacy of the pay per view, right? It's supposed to just be like, all right, here's the show, we're gonna do it, and it's just like they're killing that legacy of the pay per view, where it's just like, so now it's no different than regular television, but they have ad breaks. I mean, in between just about every match, it's ridiculous.
Not just ad
Well,
breaks, like 5-minute ads about
Yeah.
the city of Nashville. Not just
Well,
a product, an entire city.
You know, I think Triple H is doing a great job. So you guys need to relax a little bit.
I'm not worried about that. It's not him that's doing it. It's TKO that's the one that making. You know, they need to make the ad revenue. So that's what they're doing. It's not so much him.
I will say this on the commercials. I don't want there to be any commercials anytime I watch anything. I fully feel that way. But we all come from a time where you used to have to pay $49.99 a month for the pay-per-view. And I now pay $10 a month for the Peacock network, and I get WWE pay-per-views or premium live events on top of it, I'll take a couple commercials. I'll be okay.
Okay. They felt excessive this time, but I will move on. Oh, I got Papa Wheelie.
I tune the comicals out.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so we got Lyra Valkyria to beat Becky Lynch. What do you think, D?
That was botch city the entire time. Like it, I hated that match. I don't know. It was the result I thought it would be. But I didn't see it. Yeah, that match, the finish was really botched. The whole thing was just weird, and I didn't enjoy it. They needed to do better.
Yeah.
Boston Chris.
They rushed to put it together. It seemed just like it was a sloppy story. You couldn't care. What stakes were there? Why did anyone really care about it? There was nothing to it. It was just, just a TV match that you could have built up over a month or two and let go forward. But because of everything that happened and controversy with WrestleMania and, fans, getting upset that, Becky came back and won right away, they kind of rushed things and it showed. And the match was sloppy because of it. So it was a match that really just took away from the show in my eyes. I didn't think it went well at all.
Biggie?
Yeah. I went into it being kind of like just annoyed with the Becky Lynch shit, but I thought she did okay. I thought that she made the best out of it. I think the other girl was a lot greener than her, and I was a little what's the word? Pleased with her way of putting the other girl over. Honestly.
How do you mean, Big?
Well, she was hitting her moves good. Like when she was on the offense and she was selling, I thought she did about as damn good as any girl wrestler I've seen, besides maybe Charlotte. And I think she's good in the ring. I think she's a good worker. The other girl, not so much. And she lost. She made the other girl look good, I thought. Oops, sorry.
And Papa Wheelie. Hold on, he says. Hold on. All right.
He's up, Tiger. Well, and to piggyback on one thing Biggie did say that I did agree with, it did make Lyra look very strong. She took at least 2 manhandle slams. And
the disarmer that looked really weak. Yeah.
Well, hey, there are some people that are flexible enough to make that look good, but it that would be easy to actually hurt someone. So I get why, but yeah, no, they did make the girl look. But here they did weird things like they took the turnbuckle pad off and then they never used it, and it was just the end of the match was really, really like choreographed, and it didn't look good or natural. Like it seemed like they were all just trying to jump into their spot of the go home, and it didn't look good.
I will say my biggest note, I mostly agree with K-Pop. It was mad. I mean, it was a heavy match. Lara Valkyria's wings though can go away. I don't like the wings. It doesn't do it for me.
They're just going to keep getting bigger every match she has. Every big match, more and more wings.
Those were the wings I would expect to see if they had made a Falcon movie in 1991.
Legit.
Go for it, Pop.
Someone on this panel I think said Becky don't put others over cough cough Biggie cough cough. I think they did pretty good but not great.
I think you should rewatch the episode because I don't remember saying that.
I don't remember Biggie ever burying Becky Lynch, though.
I remember the internet did, but that's about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
they
remember
were
Biggie
calling her
doing it.
Becky Hogan. Becky
Yeah,
Hogan.
She came back and won a title instantly, and that seems to be, I guess, it's
Oh
happened
yeah,
a couple
Boston
times.
Chris, you told Biggie that he should like Becky because they call her Becky Hogan.
No, I said I don't want to make them mad. That's what they called her.
Yeah.
And Big was like, nope, don't have a problem with her.
I want to say hi to Who Dat, K-pop. I think we already acknowledged DBH.
Yes.
Just everybody in the chat. Thanks, guys. I do want to read DBH's comment. TKO don't need to do it at all with how much money they make in TV rights, but all they care about is making money. I mean, they're a publicly traded company. They have to have their investors.
That's right.
They have to protect the investment. And what else does he say? The wings are so dumb. Agreed. And Becky put her over well. Becky has never been the tightest in the ring, but she holds her end up. Yeah, I would agree with all of that.
I can remember what I said now. It was like everybody should lay off Charlotte, and I think I'm tired of Becky Lynch, but I don't remember the whole she buried people shit. But that's cool. I could see where he got that out of there.
Yeah, well, that was the internet kind of. The internet was that was the big criticism after WrestleMania. Was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is what she does now. People basically like upset that she just comes back in and just jumps in the top spot. But I mean,
she put somebody over that I didn't necessarily think she needed to. But
Yeah.
all right. Up next, we have Dominic Mysterio defeats Penta in an Intercontinental Championship match. What'd you think, D?
I didn't think there was any way Dom gets that belt off. It was fun. You know, I'm sitting there rooting for Dominic Mysterio, which is weird that I even say that now because, yeah, no, it's fun and you can they keep planting the seeds of Finn Balor leaving the Judgment Day. Or maybe they do a twist and Dirty Dom has to leave the Judgment Day and he becomes the big face of the WWE over the next 5 years. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But glad he retained. Americana had his moment, and yeah.
Boston Chris?
Yeah, it's another fun one. Like, I mean, I have to say, as far as Dom is concerned, he's actually become one of the more fun acts to see on the show, just because of the fact that, all the heat that he had, and now people are cheering for him just because they want to see him be successful. So it's fun seeing him do that. But poor Penta, the guy, so much fanfare, and and I'm sure he's happy to take the losses and everything for now, just because he'll get his eventually. But poor guy, like him and Phoenix, they need to tag up and do something quickly, just because their singles run is just, they're just getting obliterated, and But I mean, overall, though, Dom is fun. The Judgment Day tease of the breakup is fun. But I feel like you just gotta ride this one out as long as you can. Let Dom, just make the crowd happy as long as he can. Whether they want to boo him.
I felt Dom kept up with Penta in the beginning of that match.
Oh, yeah, he's good. He's gotten a lot better. I will say that Dominic has gotten a lot better as a wrestler. Like for the people that wanted to make the argument, oh, there's nepotism, this and that. He's put on the work. He's actually a very solid wrestler. I do like what I see from him as far as his effort, what he does. But I mean, he's found a way to make being kind of the bratty kid work for him. So at first they hated him for it, and now people, he's the guy you love to hate. That's pretty much the way I look at it. So he's just a fun character to see in the ring.
Biggie?
Yeah, I don't know if I hate him. I'm just kind of bored. Like, I know he's a smart ass in interviews and he's pretty witty, but it wouldn't bother me if he lost or won. too much. I thought he'd win. Wouldn't have cared if he lost. About it.
Papa, you ready? You are muted.
Dom won with Liv's move. So that was Dom is a huge mainstay in WWE's future.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got a bright future. I do think they'll flip him babyface. I'm interested to see what he does with that. DVH made a comment about how he, sometimes when they do that with these guys, they kind of turn them into smiling idiots. I think he could be good as a smart ass that's over with the crowd.
Yeah. Have him have like a Peter Parker mentality where it's just, taunting the bad guys. You could do that.
Hey, Swag.
And they can steal from his real dad, Eddie Guerrero. He could still lie, cheat, and steal, and still be a sneaky little fuck and be the baby face. He could aim that lie and cheat and steal and shit towards his opponents in a fun way. So there's ways that they could definitely do it. But it's weird. I see Finn being the one that is hesitating to do the underhanded things right now, which makes me think that they're going to make Finn Balor be the face again. If they do that, I want to see him get a huge push, because I hated that he got that Universal title and then he had to relinquish it the next night, and he's never had it since. Like I like Finn Balor a lot, and I would like to see him get the problem is he doesn't make sense going up against a Gunther or a Drew McIntyre. He's just not big enough.
We've also seen him been beaten like a drum.
Yeah.
The psychology at this point with the fans isn't there.
Did you guys see the small little clip where AJ Styles kind of like said hi to Finn, like, and people, all the fans are like, Bullet Club, Bullet Club, Bullet Club. Y'all notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be fun if they would do it. Like, it would be fun if they do something close to that, just because, like, why not? I mean, like, lean it. Like, it doesn't have to be the Bullet Club, but you can have them team up, at least, something along those lines. Like, they know what's up. The fans know who they are, who they once were, and everything else. Like, you definitely could have an offshoot of the Bullet Club in WWE. They just don't really do it as much anymore.
I sent him the link there, Papa. Well, up next we had. Oh God, yeah, Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This one, it went on for a long time.
Yeah.
D. What did you?
Yeah. So, that was the most predictable one. Well, you know what? I predicted Goldberg would come out, and I wanted to call a long shot, but yeah, man, like without the interference of someone. Like, and it needed to be more than, Michael Cole tried to get involved, and help Pat out. And, but, Gunther is a very methodical style already. And Pat McAfee is not, he's a very good athlete, and he does okay for himself, but he's not a pro wrestler. So that match was always going to be, hard hitting, with a lot of slow movement that didn't exhaust either person too much. And I also, there was a part of me that wanted to see Wade Barrett get fed up and hit him with a bullhammer, and that could have been fun.
At one point, I thought that was going to happen. I thought Wade was going to be like, all right, I thought something would happen to Michael Cole and Wade would be like, enough, and do something to Gunther. And I really thought that might happen at one point, but it went on way too long for me.
They said at one point he said, Michael, I can't help you here. And I, at that point, I was like, he's going to fucking help him. my boy Bad News Barrett's gonna get in there. And Wade Barrett is one of my is one of the sad tales for me. Like he's another one of the I hate saying the word victim, but he's a victim of Vince McMahon not liking people getting over organically without his doing. And Bad News Barrett was very over. I got to see him in person when he would be like elevated like up next to the Titantron, and I'm afraid I've got some bad news. And I love that gimmick so much. And I remember when I saw him live in Minneapolis, and the scaffold thing he was on was malfunctioning, and he rolled perfectly with it. I forget what he said, but he said some cool shit. And he when he got his bullhammer finish, that put him, it moved him up, because the wasteland move that he was doing was awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I wanted to see him hit the bullhammer, but it didn't happen. And without any substantial interference, Gunther was always going to win. And they definitely drugged that on a little longer. They could have fit in another commercial if they slowed that one down or shortened that one up a little bit.
Yeah, another thing about Barrett too. When he finally got the bullhammer, it went like his music and everything went perfect. When he go, oh, like it was perfect. And like you said, like he was able to just sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna yell boom when my music hits, and when I go to do the thing, I'm gonna hit people. I'm gonna scream boom, and of course it got over with fans. And yeah, Vince wasn't a fan of that. And
really tells you a lot about this match that everybody's talking about Barrett.
Well, because the thing is that, like, it makes sense. Like, Barrett he's got one good match in him, and why not with Gunther? Like Gunther, I think, would be a perfect opponent for him. He's the same size around. Like, he can do the hard hitting style. They can slow it down. It doesn't have to be a fast paced match. It could work. I'm with you, Beckham. And I said this last time. Like, this should have been an absolute squash match from the get go. It should have, like, literally. I mean, basically, this is the type of minute. Listen. Go out there, give me 4 good minutes, beat the shit out of this guy, and let's move to the next thing.
That's what my wife always says. Give me 4 good minutes. I was like, I'll give you 3.5, baby. Woo!
But it's just like they did what I was afraid they were gonna do, which is, oh, McAfee's gonna mount an offense, and he's gonna and it's gonna be a big deal. And they try to do the WrestleMania 5 spot where Cole holds on to Gunther's leg in the pin, and this is like what are we doing? Like Pat McAfee is an NFL punter. He's yes, he's an athletic guy, but he is not a wrestler. Like this should have been quick. This should have been done just because of the fact that he's not a wrestler. Yes, he's had matches, but he's not a wrestler. So the wrestler should have dismantled him very quickly. And I can't believe I'm going to actually say this. I would have actually looked forward to the whole Goldberg thing, him coming down and doing something different to get them out of that match, just because of the fact that it went far too long. And then to add insult to injury, he comes out on Raw and he's perfectly fine. He's just, he's up with he's waving. It's like, you were supposed to be next to crippled, right? Supposedly after this match, you couldn't breathe, everything else. He's like Grandpa Joe. He's singing and dancing after getting the golden ticket. Bullshit. And that's why you don't ruin things by bringing in an idiot like McAfee to do a match like this. It's like, you know what? If you're gonna bring him in, you squash him. That's it. That's general wrestling. That's the way it's supposed to go. I don't care.
It took a little off Gunther that I would not have liked to see. It went too long. Gunther. It was too competitive. Yeah. Gunther needed to beat the crap out of him.
To me, I'm starting to wonder what he did. Like, I'm starting to wonder who he's pissed off back, in the office. That's like, dude, we're going to absolutely ruin your character now. We're going to hit you with the Damian Priest ruining of your character. And for a little while, we're going to ruin your character like we kind of did to Drew McIntyre that we're trying to rehab him with. And it's just like, why? Just keep him like he is. Like okay, he's had his couple losses. Now you're building to be a monster again. And he doesn't need a title. Just let him wreck people that are his size. But no, they're trying to destroy Gunther. I don't know why.
Biggie?
Oh, yeah. I never was a fan of Gunther's smacks, so I'm kind of glad he's getting shit on. Keep shitting on him.
I like Bleeker's comment. It's like, now all the Jays are going to expect 3.5 good minutes.
Yeah, I want to. Oh man, Gunther did not. Seems like to me that he may have. I don't know why they're making him make Pat McAfee look that good. What was the point of that? You're taking away from him. I don't feel like him losing to Jey Uso killed his momentum. This certainly didn't help it, though.
Yeah. I mean, think back to what happened with, like, Adam Cole, right? Adam Cole has a match with McAfee. McAfee hangs with him the whole match and then starts, kind of upstaging him a little bit athletically. It's like you're killing Adam Cole in the middle of the ring.
Adam Cole's like 5 feet tall, though.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, but like, he's an established good wrestler, and the whole thing is like, you're not a wrestler. I am. I can beat the shit out of you anytime I want. And this is like, this guy not only hung with him, but he kind of looked better than him in the match. Now, not saying that he looked better than Gunther, but it's just like, stop feeding your talent to, stop making this guy have competitive matches with some of your top talent, especially somebody like Gunther. I mean, think about if he had a match at Roman Reigns and he did, and it lasted that long. It's like, dude, you're killing your company. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. That wasn't
McAfee beat what's his ass? Selfie boy.
Tyler Breeze?
No, he's in a tag team with the Australian guy.
Yeah, Austin Theory.
Yeah, he beat Austin Theory. So like, and that which completely killed his push. So man, McAfee is kind of so far he's been a kiss of death for competitors in the WWE.
I just think what I would say to anybody, does the memory of Bam Bam Bigelow mean nothing to you? Like, Lawrence Taylor came in and beat Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania. Please, have you not learned your lesson? Don't do this. We don't need this.
Pop, you ready?
Okay, look, was it good? No. And did it go way too long? Yes, but Pat did some good stuff and Pat did his job. He was sticking up for his best friend.
Yeah. Work for it. Does Endeavor pay you?
The thing though with that is that he's sticking up for his best friend. Okay, great, but like, I mean, if we're gonna go with, I mean, let's put it like this. Let's say any other fighter had some type of grievance, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna get in the ring and I'm gonna do like you're getting your ass kicked. I don't give a shit how much you love your friend, like, and how good of a job you want to do. Yeah, he got a couple good punches in, but then the actual fighter got mad and decided that he's going to end it instantly, and that's what would happen. And that's the thing. I'm not saying it has to be necessarily real, but I mean, put a little bit of realism on it, which is like, this guy should not be hanging with them. Like as soon as he gets a hold of him, he should be putting him in a submission move and snapping something on him, or pounding him into the ground and giving him a beating that he's not used to. Because even if they say he's a former football player, yeah, he didn't get hit. He was a fucking punter. He did not get hit. And if he got hit, it was every once in a while. It was not for real. Like, you can't hit punters for a reason. That's all I'm saying. It's not like he played offensive line or something.
Yeah, no, they did a classic wrestling trope in this match where Gunther did have him dead to rights several times and took it easy on him to continue the beating, which allowed McAfee to get in some shots. It did just demonstrate that Gunther could absorb those shots and keep coming at you, which has kind of been his gimmick the entire time. Is he takes some good hits, then he's fine. He pops up and hits you with a power bomb. But
yeah. Papa Wheelie.
I have to show DVH my shirt.
Ooh.
He going to shit himself.
I'll get you toilet
paper. Don't show it to him then, man. That's fucked up.
Kenny Omega.
Hopefully you're near a toilet, doctor.
Oh boy. So John Cena, Randy Orton, D, what did you think?
Hey Biggie, I'm sorry to steal your. You and I felt the same way about this match. I really wanted Orton to win. The problem is WWE showed their hand way too early. Orton got the better of him in every event that they were between WrestleMania and Backlash. Orton wound up laying him out with an RKO every time. And they rarely do that and then let that guy win. Normally they're smarter than that, and they'll have, like when CM Punk and Seth Rollins had their last premium live event, 1 week Rollins would get over, 1 week Punk would get it, and then they'd get separated and they'd punch each other. And like in this one, they just kept barking back and forth at each other on the mic, and then Orton would hit him with the RKO. I wanted to see him win, but I knew it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And R-Truth jumping in there was kind of funny. But yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, this is a match I think everybody was looking forward to the most, just because of the fact that, it's, I guess, effectively like their last match against each other. That's what they're promoting it as. And, I mean, unfortunately, where the schedule landed, they were going to St. Louis. So, Randy's the first stop. I think that if you're going to have a match for them to have their final match against each other, it should have been if not the last match, the last big match Cena had, one of, I would say like maybe the second to last or something like that, to make it special. I feel like they've kind of missed an opportunity to, allow for, the guy that basically, the two guys that cut their teeth together to have that one final showdown and have it be as meaningful as possible. I have to say, like, the match itself wasn't bad. I can't argue with the finish. I actually liked, how they had everything kind of break down. The ref got bumped. Orton starts RKOing everybody he can. Truth comes out, and then I have to say too, I kind of like that Cena won. Hitting him with the belt and everything like that. Like Cena's leaning into just being the bad guy, and winning by any means. But I think that really, in the end of it all, an opponent like Randy that should have been his final opponent. I think, at least. I mean, a lot remains to be seen with that. Like we all know, or at least they've kind of given hints that Cena's last match is going to be in December in Boston. So, but we don't know who the opponent's going to be. So maybe Randy gets another chance and comes out on top this time. But if someone's going to take that, if someone's going to beat him, I think Randy's the perfect guy to beat him. I think that's really what you want to see. So I hope this isn't their last match, but if it was, it wasn't a bad one. Like I enjoyed it. But I really do hope that Randy gets another shot.
Biggie, any thoughts on Randy?
Oh yeah, I got plenty. I got a lot of thoughts on that. The RKO, the attitude adjuster, was definitely like something they came up with. I don't know if they've done that before, but I think that was when did? Do you remember when?
It happened. No. Orton didn't do the RKO in OVW. That was something he adopted in WWE. No, they did it during one of their original feuds. Orton was the heel, but he did it through a table.
Interesting.
And I noticed it right when I saw it. I was like, "Oh my god, he's doing it again!" Like it was. Yeah. But yeah, but anyways, I'm sorry I interrupted. Ben, go. You're up.
No, I was wanting to know. I was going to ask you if you ever seen it before. So that's interesting. I don't think I remember seeing it. I didn't watch all their 75 matches, but I had never seen it. So that's cool. But so not much of a hill is he? Like I know he hit him with the belt, but how was the crowd reactions for y'all? Wasn't Cena crying and they were saying you deserve it or all types of that shit? Yeah.
Well, because the people at St. Louis know it's the last time they're going to see him. So that's part of the problem with this is that a lot of the crowds know that this is it, and they're going to.
That's why it was a bad idea This is why
Yeah.
it shouldn't have happened. And
Yeah, well.
also, it just seems like in general, WWE's crowd, you could always count on them to do the roles. Like they cheered the good guys, they booed the bad guys. Not anymore. This is modern wrestling. There are no, good and evil doesn't really matter. It's just as if you're cool.
Yeah, so I couldn't be much more happier with it. You know, I do think Cena's doing some good illish things, but I think he's too fucking dumb to understand that he needs to be enjoying it instead of acting like he's a miserable little bitch. And the fans are wanting that I'm enjoying it shit, so they're going to turn him babyface. How much longer till he's babyface? I give it maybe a month.
I don't know. Because I mean, like I don't think that there's really any way that you're gonna get the fans to not cheer, like, especially like when everybody knows, like, pretty much if he comes to your town, it's your last time seeing him. They're all gonna cheer for him when they get the chance, just because that's their last chance to do it. So they're gonna show their appreciation to the guy. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I really don't. I mean, and we'll when we're done with this, I'll ask this question and kind of see how just kind of pose I guess the solution or thing, how people would kind of go about this. But
this is why I said I had a million things to say. Is like, you know, here's my main ending thing about it is, if John Cena could have done it well, it would have been the right decision. But I don't think he can. So it falls back on writing. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, Pablo, what do you think? Because I just have a question to ask everybody on the panel after this.
Bleeker, by the way, you are just doing the work in the chat right now.
I mean, he does have no soul. That's true. His soul is on retainer to The Rock, and I don't know. Maybe that's why he's not able to give as much as he wants.
Papa Wheelie says, "Go with your question," because he's still typing.
All right. So then the question
Did
that
we
I
lose
have,
D?
Yeah, I think so.
D gets phone calls. He's always on call. Just there you go.
Yeah,
So
alarm went off at work. I do not have to go in. I'm good.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully it's a good one. So the question I have for this is I mean, to kind of ask, like, okay, so how is from Biggie's saying that, like, Cena's not doing this right, and I don't know that I agree with that. I just want to know, like, how do you book this so that the fans react the way you want them to, and it comes off the right way? Just because I think Cena's doing all he possibly can. It's just because they went ahead and said, this is it, this is my last thing, I have 27 dates left or whatever it is, and people are not stupid, but like, they understand this is the last time to see them. So how do you book Cena's farewell tour so that people will boo him as a heel and you can keep him heel the whole way through?
I'll let y'all have a first crack at it. I can definitely answer that, but y'all can have first crack.
I'm gonna say you can't. There's no way people are gonna cheer Cena at this point.
You want to try it, dude?
Yeah, no, I for one thought that they should have turned Cena heel a decade ago, or maybe even longer ago. The fact that they didn't ever do it, I don't think they ever should have.
Hey, look.
I don't love his heel work right now. It's very
you cut out, D.
Can you hear me?
Out. Yep,
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm using my phone to stream, so when I get a phone call, it kills my audio.
Gotcha.
But I'm not a fan of his heel work. It's very formulaic of fuck you fans, I hate you motherfuckers. You know, it's not inspired. You know, and I think it would have been better if he would have kept being hustle, loyalty, respect, and then he was doing the underhanded shit to win his matches.
Okay.
That to me, I think would have made him a better heel. Where if he would have acted as if he wasn't doing that stuff and he brushed it off, like, you know, the champ is here, and then he just acted like he didn't low blow Cody Rhodes, and he didn't knock out the ref, and he didn't take this shortcut, and but the fact that his whole persona flipped, it's too weird for me. It doesn't work. I think they should turn him face again before he exits, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know if they will. They should, though.
All right. I don't think he's doing the best he can. I don't think he's doing the most he can. I think that he's just not smart enough to pull it off. And I think that he should be enjoying it. He shouldn't have started with a low blow. He should have started with something a little heavier than that. Maybe brought in some more backup than Travis Scott. You know,
that was his call though. That was the Rock's call. The Rock's like, you don't need me for WrestleMania. Travis will take care of it.
And he seems like a guy that got cheated on by his girlfriend and is just pouting every time you see him. So the best work he's doing is shitting on the people backstage. He's telling the guy to get his mic. That's good shit. That's good heel work. But he should be rubbing it in. I don't care if he only had a month left. If he was working this right, it would work. You got to rub it in the fan's face. You can't. I mean, he's doing it a little bit, but he's like pouting while he does it. He's like very not there. He seems numb. You know, enjoy it a little bit. Stop being a little bitch. That's my answer.
Okay. I mean, I think the part of the reason why is because he knows they're gonna cheer him. So if he's, you know, like so if he's enjoying being evil and everything like that, right, and not being like, you know what, this is not for you, you know, like, don't cheer me, because I mean, that's essentially what he's doing. He's saying, don't cheer me because I'm not doing this for you. Like, this is for me. Like I don't like you guys. Don't, you know what I mean? But if he's into it and loving it, and then they're cheering him for it, he kind of has the same dilemma. Even though he's like, yeah, I love being a bad guy. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna kick this guy in the nuts. I'm gonna punch this woman in the face. I'm gonna spit in this baby's face. Watch this. Like, and everyone's gonna cheer him being a complete asshole. It's just like,
maybe he's figuring it out a little bit more because he is going around saying he's the greatest, and there's glimmers of light. There might be a chance he could pull it off, but I just think he's got to lean more into the braggadocious and enjoy it, man. Once he starts doing that, I'll be like, yes. And trust me, I don't want him to fail. I want this shit to work. I want him to do it.
Well, I mean, Pop, did you have a thought on this one? Because I did have a follow-up question with this. Okay, so the follow-up question is, do you think them reversing course and making him a babyface is going to be a mistake too? Like, because if you, I mean, you're almost admitting that, okay, the heel thing didn't work. He's a babyface now. Cheer him, fans, and the fans are probably going to turn their backs on him. Like, no, fuck you. We want you to be the dickhead again. What are you doing?
I mean, I would be happy either way. I'm enjoying seeing him fail, and I would enjoy seeing him be successful. I just don't want to be too successful. So, yeah, if he would turn babyface, it'd be okay with me. I don't think they're going to have any options. Like, if the fans keep cheering him, they're going to just be, all right, you're babyface. You know, they need more shit thrown in the ring. They actually had one bottle get thrown in the ring. That was a little impressive. Let's see 50 more. Let's see people jumping over the barriers. Let's see some of that shit. And then I'll be like, oh, okay.
Well, here's the deal with that, though. I mean, like the throwing, you know, in the 90s, you can kind of get away with throwing things. You might get kicked out of the show. Now you will definitely get kicked out of the show and possibly arrested. You jump over the barricades and you paid, you know, and people aren't paying, you know, $25 to go to this thing. Like, they're paying thousands of dollars. Like, so, and like, if you're sitting ringside, you're paying at least like probably $10,000 to be there. You're not jumping over the side. You didn't spend $10,000 to go get arrested. Like, that's not happening. Now,
yeah, I can't change what's going on, Chris. It just seems to be like that's what's going on.
Oh no, I hate you completely. Like people tossing shit in the ring. Like I mean, and I agree with you. Like it would be cool if he had, you know, if people would do that. But it's just like wrestling's kind of evolved from that way. You can't just be throwing shit just because like you know you'll get arrested nowadays, and people know that. So it's just like, you know, the best you can do is make a mean sign and yell at somebody, and that's about it. But if you go to a smaller show, yeah, they'll throw shit at you because they can get away with it, you know. But I think
what I don't think Biggie was encouraging violence on the performers. He's saying that the fact that someone did throw something shows that the heel heat is getting through to some people. It ain't getting through to me.
Yeah, no, I know what Biggie's saying. Like Biggie wants to see the passion of the fans, like just being that angry that they would, throw something out. They would yell, or or that they would drown out. Like you're on the microphone trying to talk, and they're so loud booing you that you can't. It's almost muted. Like
if they were really in it for the business, they wouldn't arrest the people for as long as the performer don't get hurt. That would be really good for just like cinematic view. They'd be like, "Oh my God, it's working! So I don't know they get arrested. I don't know.
No, they definitely get arrested unless it's scripted. Like they plan it before.
Yeah, maybe they'll hire some people to throw shit at them. I mean, it happened organically before 20 years ago, but we'll see. I don't know. I just an example. I just want more. I'm just a geek like that, I guess.
That wouldn't. I mean, I would say that. Yeah, like if you wanted to plant somebody and have a couple of whoever like maybe ref some whoever just kind of throw something or do something, or if you had like just some indie guy that you hired, a local talent, jump over and then do that, and then it's like like he just take it like that wouldn't be bad. And I mean, at least doing it in a great way, but yeah.
At the end of it, like he's been through 2 matches, and I'm pretty happy with the epic failure I'm seeing so far. So I'm enjoying it.
He has until December, right? So he's got what 7 months left of doing this. It's gonna be tough to pull off. I think if they're gonna keep it a heel thing.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Papa's got an announcement.
There he goes.
Guys, really, if y'all think Cena was going to lose within a month, get real if WWE was ever going to do Cena and being 17x holder. Cena will have a long run with the title until Survivor Series.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
Survivor Series. He loses.
Yeah, I didn't think he would lose. I just wanted him to because I'm a bigger Orton fan.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I did not think that they were already gonna take the belt off of him. That didn't, especially the fact that Orton kept getting the better of him in the build up.
Yeah.
No, I was the only goofball that said that. I just know it's wrestling, and I mean it's fake. So let's be real here. Like anything could happen.
So guys, sorry about that. We are over an hour. I know originally we were also going to do Saturday night's main event. I'm going to say preview that. I'm going to save it for next week since it's not this weekend, but the next weekend anyway. But yeah, wrap up your thoughts there, Boston.
Well, I was going to say, Papa saying that was actually kind of interesting because that I think would be kind of a cool time for him to do the heel, the babyface turn. Whereas like if he loses the title, in or around Survivor Series, and then for his last month he's a babyface, that wouldn't be bad. I think that would be kind of cool. But that's just where I was going to end it with that. That's an interesting thought, Pop. We have to see where that goes.
All right, guys. We're over an hour. We're going to wrap it up at this point. D. Oh wait, Pop. What do you got for us? What are you yelling at me for?
AEW still fucking sucks.
Oh
yeah,
Word.
Pop was really mad about their overrun, and it did involve some technical difficulties that were beyond their control. I don't know. For people like AEW, that's not going to be a deal breaker.
Yeah. Damn,
I got one more thing to say before we go. R.I.P. Mongo. He was one of the greatest football wrestlers in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
Shout outs to one of the original Horsemen. He had some great matches. He was fun to watch. And, I had some short answers tonight. I might have seemed a little disappointed, but Hey man, I'm just being honest with you guys, and sometimes the show don't make me shit and giggle and be so happy. So it was just a mediocre show. So thank you for having me. Be back next week.
See you, Big. D, where are you gonna be this week?
If I'm not on Sweet Chin Music, I'm exclusively on the network.
The Biggie Shack Network.
Yeah.
Boston Chris, what do you got planned?
Church on Sunday. I think next Saturday is going to be the Band of Brothers auction and sale. Hunt is also next Saturday. And I think Hudat is going to do a me and Hudat will do a graphic content because and it might be a preview of some stuff that he's going to be, I guess, bringing to oh, thank you. He's going to be doing a preview of, I guess, some books that he's going to be bringing for signatures, and I think he might have some stuff coming in from CGC as well. So that'll be a good show to do next week. But for this week, Church Sunday. Next week, Band of Brothers. Next Saturday, Band of Brothers, Hunt, and graphic content.
Biggie?
Yeah, you catch me on the network. I'm on Church. Shout outs to all the channels, and also Sweet Chin Music. So all that good stuff, guys. See y'all next week.
For me, you can. Oh, Papa Wheelie, what do you got? Oh, for me, you can catch me on the Hucklebuck on the Comic Viking channel on Tuesdays, Tuesday mornings, Tuesday nights 4C, here on Thursdays. Biggie Shack all the time. If you guys aren't checking out his every afternoon shows, they are, man, keeps me company at work. He's really good, guys. Check out the Biggie Shack Network, Club on Fridays, Church on Sundays, Hunt when we're there. Yeah, man. You can catch me all over the place.
The hell is going on?
I don't know.
Did Nostradamus invade our show? Like, I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm sorry. I have it next to my microphone. I was watching the music video on Instagram. Pretty sick.
I thought it was Pop. Okay.
That was me. Sorry about that.
Wrap it up, Pop. Tell them how stupid I am. Do your dirt. Who's going to be the shitbag this week? Me or Chris? Go ahead. Sorry. Okay.
Love you all. Thanks for coming. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
In line is fucking over for you. Get your ass off my screen.
That's all.